Hey everybody, DCT here with one of my guys, DCF. Some of the newcomers may not know who he is. He's a really great guy, smart guy. He knows a lot about Cowboys football. But first off, I just want to thank everyone who joined in on the live draft. It was great. It was fantastic. To me, it meant the world. Thank you to everyone who subscribed, liked, commented, everything. It just meant the world to me. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. It means a lot, so thanks. Now let's get right into a new series I want to be doing at least once a week. It's going to be Sundays, but you know, the Week in Review, where I get some guys to sit down, talk with me, you guys, about Cowboy football. So, let's talk about the draft first and the grades. So we took LVE in the first, who's a linebacker. Connor Williams, who's an offensive tackle in the second. Michael Gallup, wide receiver in the third. Dorrance Armstrong. Believe it or not, Connor Williams only gave up one sack in his whole career to Dorrance Armstrong. So we got Dorrance Armstrong, defensive end. Dalton Schultz, I believe is how you pronounce it, tight end. Mike White, quarterback, in the fifth. Covington, who's a linebacker, in the sixth. Wilson, who's a wide receiver, in the sixth. And Bo Scarborough. Yeah, in the seventh. So, let's go through and grade everybody. How would you grade LVE, DCF?
I'm in between on this. As of now, I'm giving it a B plus or a B. I'm saying this because, we could have drafted a deep tackle, maybe trade up for Vita Vea. I think that would have been great, but
Yeah.
I think we were okay at linebackers. If we were, obviously we didn't trade up for a defensive tackle. I think we should have maybe taken a receiver, or not, if we didn't, maybe even a safety help. But Leighton Vander Esch, Dallas really liked him. Maybe even trade up for Derwin James there, but I'm giving it a B plus for as of now.
All right,
He performs in the season.
I like it. I'm gonna give him a solid A, only because he's a linebacker. We need linebacker help. We also need depth at the linebacker position. And even if they're not star Sean Lee, Luke Kuechly, this man, he can fly all over the field. He's a great player. He's got great talent. The only thing I'm worried with is injury. But this guy adds a lot of depth to the linebacking spot. And we need that, as we all saw when Sean Lee went out. We were really hurting, and I think this is really going to help. And that's my reasoning. Let's move on to the second round with Connor Williams, who's an offensive tackle. What do you say, DCF?
I want to start off by saying Seattle offered Earl Thomas for this pick. I just wanted to say that, but other than
Right.
that, that's huge. Would you, if let me ask you a question. If you were Jerry Jones and you received a call from the Seahawks and they said, give us your 50th pick for Earl Thomas, are you accepting this or are you declining this?
Hell no, I'm declining that. Earl Thomas is worth a lot. Don't get me wrong. I love that man. He's not worth my 50th pick. He's not worth this guy. We're pretty good in the secondary. Don't get me wrong. We need some help, but we're pretty good. I would not give up my second round pick for Earl Thomas, who's getting old in age, to not have the best offensive line in pro football, to have Zeke run the ball and have Dak time to pass the ball. Where, yeah, we have a good defense, but Earl Thomas would make it that much better, but it wouldn't help us in the long run. It would just help us for right now. I'll wait it out. I'd give up my third, not my second. That's too high. What grade, though, would you give him, Connor Williams?
A plus.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
He was a first round talent. I know you watched the draft. You know the Raiders took Colton Miller, right?
Yep.
I would have easily taken Connor Williams over him any day.
Yeah.
And with Tyron Smith getting a little injury prone, I mean, not that much. Lyle Collins staying at the right side, and then Karen Fleming pretty much can play any position.
Right.
Think of it like this: when Tyron Smith got hurt in that Atlanta game, we were completely freaking screwed with.
Oh yeah.
Travis Green right there.
Oh god.
Connor Williams would have been right there.
Right.
And we would have won that game.
Oh yeah. You can't win if your quarterback's getting sacked 6 times to a nobody. A nobody he was getting sacked 6 times to. You can't have that happen. I give Connor Williams an A+. Easy. Hands down. He was going to the Bears in the first round. A top 10 pick. We got him at the 50th pick in the draft. This man, not only does it beef up the offensive line, my guy, my linebacker, who I've talked to, I even asked him, what position should we go for in the draft? He even said, quote unquote, it's hard to know without knowing who and what you're going to lose in free agency. I love all our guys on the O-line, and I feel like you can't go wrong by adding another stud. That's exactly what we did, all right? I'm not going to try and throw shade on anyone, but Connor Williams just beefed up the offensive line. Like you said, Tyron Smith going out. That hurt. That really hurt. But now, who's our offensive line? Tyron Smith, All-Pro. Travis Frederick, All-Pro. Zach Martin, All-Pro. Lyle Collins, growing great talent. Cameron Fleming, pretty good talent. Connor Williams, great talent. We're now at the point where this offensive line is better than in 2016, I believe. Because Ronald Leary, I like him, but he gets penalized a lot. Doug Free, he's an aging player. Now this offensive line is all under the age of 28. I believe Zach Martin is 27. Travis Frederick, I believe, is... What?
We're the youngest O-line in the league, and we're the best O-line.
Right, exactly. So just adding Connor Williams, that just improves the team so much more on the offense. Let me tell you, we're going to see something different this year. Let's go on to Michael Gallup in the 3rd round, wide receiver. What do you give him?
I'm giving this pick A-. I like this pick. I think he can win some 50-50 balls. He can catch some slants, screens. He's pretty fast, and he said on the voluntary workouts today, he doesn't push the ball with his body. So we can all give that a round of applause and safely say he's not another Terrence Williams.
Right. I love Terrence Williams. What?
I said he doesn't body catch all the time. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I think Terrence Williams is good. I just think he body catches too much.
Right. I'd give this pick a B+. I like this because it gave us defensive and offensive help before. I just didn't see any good enough wide receivers, 1st-round talent, or even 2nd-round talent. I mean, yeah, they're good, but I want to have the best defense, the best offensive line, to run the best running back in pro football, and to prove Stat Talk wrong that Zeke will lead the league in rushing yards. That's not the only reason, but, I think Michael Gallup, he's a great player. He's fast. He just adds to, he just adds to the wide receiving core, which, as you saw in 2016, when Dez was out for Cincinnati, Green Bay, the 49ers, and I believe one more game, I forget who, but people had us losing to Green Bay. They had us losing to San Fran. They had us losing to Cincinnati because we weren't good enough. And when Dez went out, we saw something different in the offense. It wasn't plays to Dez Bryant. It was to whoever's open. That's what it's going to be this year. We're not going to have a starting wide receiver. We're going to be whoever is open is going to be the target. And I believe Michael Gallup is going to help that. And that's the only reason I give him a B+. If I saw more footage of him, I might change my mind. I haven't seen a whole lot of footage of him. I've seen him in training camp, and so far in training camp, I'd give him an A+ for those. But I just don't know how he's going to perform in the NFL. I hope he gets chemistry with these two guys, because if he gets chemistry with Dak and Zeke in the offensive line, then this team is going to be killer. Now let's move on to the 4th round, defensive end, Dorrance Armstrong. I give him a B+. B. The only reason for that being, he's 4th round. Yeah, he's 4th round talent. Tom Brady, though, was 6th round talent, I believe, when we saw him, or late round talent when we first saw him. But well, we all know how that turned out. I like this man. I think he's a good player. I think he's gonna give some competition to Randy Gregory. And by the way, Randy Gregory, you're gone. You're gone. You're a good player, but you're gone. You don't even get me started on Randy Gregory. You're gone. You're just gone. Oh man, you've just been suspended for the past 2 years. I'm sick of it. I don't want to deal with it anymore. But Dorrance Armstrong, B. What do you say, DCF?
I think it was a pretty good pick. I
Right.
think we could have picked someone else, but the Cowboys were looking at him in the 3rd round, and they obviously picked Gallup. And then
Right.
I think he is a 4th round talent. I think he's going to be a good addition to this D line. So I think it was a pretty good pick. I'm going to give it a B. A B.
Yeah. Right. Same with me. I just I haven't seen much of him. He's good. Don't get me wrong. But yeah. Schultz is our new tight end. I'm gonna give this a B+. With the retirement, or so-called, of Jason Witten, we have no clue still, I believe. I believe he's still deciding. But I'm going to give this a B+. I think he's a good route runner. I think he can catch. He's fast. I just think this is going to be a good pick overall. I think the tight end spot is going to be a little bit better this year than it was last year, because Rico Gathers is here. This guy's here. Sadly, though, Jason Witten won't be here, but I'm going to do a separate video on why that could either be a good or a bad thing. But, that's what I got to say for Schultz, B+. What do you say?
I'm gonna say what you said. I'm gonna say B+. I think obviously Jason Witten retired. They said though that the official announcement of him was coming tonight, and
Right.
I don't know if you heard about this, but I really hate Monday Night Football now, because they offered Jason Witten twice what he would be making with us. So
Right.
I mean, that's obviously gonna lure him there, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, I'm sad to see him go.
I think it's a B+. Dalton Schultz, I think he's pretty good. I think he's a good blocking tight end, and
Yup.
in the receiving game as a tight end. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a B+. I think it's a pretty solid pick.
Right. Now, I know you're probably going to strongly disagree with me, but round 5, Mike White, who's a quarterback, I'm going to give this a B-. I'm going to grade him not on what we need, but on how he played. This man is a great talent. He's a great competition for a number 2 and maybe even a number 1. So it's going to give Dak more the reason to step up his game and be the best damn quarterback he can be. I think Dak is going to have some competition now with Cooper Rush. And with Mike White, it's going to be the 90s all over again, man. I'm going to just come out and say that. When Troy Aikman and Jimmy's guy was battling it out, Troy ultimately won. But this is going to be the same thing all over again. They're going to battle it out. I believe, though, Dak is going to come out on top. I'm going to give this a B-. He's a good player. I got nothing else to say. He's a good player. I'm sad, though, that we didn't take Deshaun Elliott or even some defensive tackles or anybody that was available. But this was a bad pick for us, but he's a good player. So, B-. What do you say?
I'm gonna start this off with a question for you, DCT. Would you pick Maurice Hurst or Mike White?
Hurst.
Same.
I think he's
Yeah,
great talent.
I'm gonna say that.
What? Go ahead.
No, you can say.
All right, thanks. The only thing, though, that concerns me with Hurst is his heart problems. He's known to have those, but I think that he would really beef up the defense. But Mike White is going to give Dak some competition, so it kind of balances out. But I think I would take Hurst over Dak, over Mike White.
Yeah, I agree there. I'm gonna give the Mike White pick a C minus just because we're already stacked on, not really stacked on quarterback, but we have obviously Dak, who is a beast when at his full potential. Cooper Rush, who I think is a very capable backup, and then Zach Dyser, who isn't that good, but Mike White, he has some really good talent. I think he's really good, and
Yeah.
I think this is gonna motivate Dak to say, in Dak's mind, oh crap, we just drafted this dude. He might even get competition for the one
Right.
later in his career. So
Right.
Dak's gonna be like, oh, I gotta step up now. No more BS 2017 season stats. So I think this pick is gonna help out Dak.
Yeah.
And I also think it's gonna help us out in the future. But I would have taken Deshaun Elliott over this pick, honestly, or even Maurice Hurst.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on to round 6. Chris Covington, linebacker, B+. Man, I know he may not be the star breakout Evans player that we all wanted, but I think he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's not the best, but he's good. It adds depth. That's what we struggle with. Damn, Dallas. We are literally the best team in the NFL, all of our starters, if they wouldn't get hurt. But, well, Sean Lee goes out. Oh, who do we have as a backup? Justin Marshallard, and that's it. Okay, so Justin Marshallard now has to carry the load of 2 guys. Jalen Smith has to carry the load of him and a couple other people. And Anthony Hitchens now has to carry the load of everybody else. Because he's really the only one with experience, and that's just not fair. So that really beefed up the the linebacking core. My next point being, our offensive line. Oh man, it's a killer O-line, but Tyron Smith goes out. Who's the backup? Who is the backup for Tyron Smith? Chaz Green? That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. We need depth. That's what I think we were shooting for this draft. Depth. So Chris Covington, he's a good player. B+. What do you say?
I'm gonna give it an A minus.
All right.
You pretty much said what I was gonna say. Depth is really everything in this league. Sean Lee, I think it kind of hurts me to say, but I think he's gonna get injured some point in this season. And then look, we're not gonna be, oh crap, we're screwed now. Sean Lee is out. No,
Right.
none of that. Liam Vander Esch stepping in for him.
Right.
And Chris Covington coming in, and those are 2 guys that can easily fill the shoes. Well, not easily, but fill the empty spot of Sean Lee. And then you got Jalen Smith on the other side, and then you got Chris Covington coming in, and then you even got Damian Wilson. So I think this is a great pick. I really liked it, and he has a lot of talent. I'm surprised he fell to the 6th round. So I really loved this pick.
Right. Yeah. Two more picks, and then we're gonna move on to something else. Wilson, who's a wide receiver. I ain't got much to say. He's good. B+. B-. He's good. He adds to the depth. He's gonna provide some competition in the wide receiver area. B-. What do you say?
I think it's a B, because I mean we already are pretty loaded on wide receiver, and on draft
Right.
day we got Tavon Austin, which we're gonna talk about
Yeah.
after the draft discussion. And then to add to the depth, I think it was a pretty good pick. I mean, once again, I would have taken Deshaun Elliott over this pick, honestly.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, depth, honestly. This pick
Right.
was depth and
Yeah.
injury, which leads to depth. So that's really all I have to say. I don't really have to say much.
Right.
about this.
Then we took Bo Scarborough in the 7th. Sorry. Bo Scarborough in the 7th. I cannot talk. Bo Scarborough in the 7th. A+. That man, he is a great pounder, alright? This man, He's not a fast guy, but he's the guy that trucks everybody. He's the guy that you're going to be trying to think, okay, how are we going to stop him? We just got beat the crap out of with Zeke, running it up, hurdling everybody. Now we have to worry about him breaking tackles, and we got to worry about, oh, look, they got Trayvon Austin there in the back. So what are they going to do? What are they going to do? We got to worry about how to stop this man. A+. I love Bo Scarborough. This was a great pick. This helps out the running back core. This really does. Overall, this was a great pick. Thoughts, DCF?
Yeah, A++++++++++.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe he was available in the 7th round.
Right.
236th pick. Bo Scarborough. I mean, come on. Easily an A+ times
Yeah.
100. I mean, he's a great player, as you said. Easily best backfield in the league.
Right.
Listen to this. Zeke, just a beast.
Correct.
Zeke, I mean, I don't have to say much. You know he's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got Rod Smith,
Right.
who is also a beast.
Right.
You got Tavon Austin, who is fast. He can pretty much outrun everyone. Juke and speed. And then you had Bo Scarborough. Watch out for this. You're going to have to game plan for the Cowboys, and you're going to have a separate game plan for their backfield. You don't know what they're going to do. They're going to put Zeke in. He's going to truck your whole offense, curly ball. They're going to put in Rod Smith. He's going to pretty much do trucking. And then they're going to put in Tavon Austin. He's going to outrun your whole defense. And then you're going to put in Bo Scarborough. You can't bring down. So
Right.
easily best backfield in the league. I love this pick.
I do too. I'm giving this draft a B plus overall, maybe even an A minus. I think Dallas had the third best draft in the NFL. That's just my opinion. But in this draft, to be a Super Bowl team, Dallas needed a wide receiver, tight end, offensive tackle, running back, defensive tackle, linebacker, cornerback. All right, we got 2 linebackers, a tight end, a couple wide receivers, an offensive tackle, a running back, and a quarterback. So we got about all what we need. And in trades, we got a defensive tackle and another wide receiver. Sadly, though, we got rid of Ryan Switzer, which I'll get to in a minute. But now we have the talent. Our wide receiver core is complete. Running back is complete. Tight end, it's okay. Quarterback, complete. Offensive line, complete. The left end, right end, that's complete. The secondary is okay. The linebacker is pretty much complete. Defensive tackle is okay. Now with Trayvon Austin, which I'll get to in a minute, we can use him as an option player. Now teams don't know where to go with him, mainly because, he's going to be able to play wide receiver, running back, and an option player. So let me put this in perspective. All right, Dak, this is Bo Scarborough. So Dak, all right, read option. Okay, Dak runs, but, it's a pitch to Bo Scarborough, who runs the other way. All right, this man is fast. I mean, not Bo Scarborough, Trayvon Austin. This man is fast, and defenses better be scared of this running back core and the best backfield in the NFL and the best offensive line in pro football, who's just going to be messing up defenses. Don't you agree with that? I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think anyone could stop this running back core. I mean, the only thing that would even challenge this is the Eagles' D line, but
Right.
this is a beast running back core.
Right.
Easily.
Yeah. So the trades we traded our 6th round for Trayvon Austin from the Rams, who's a wide receiver from the Rams. A 6th round pick for him. That just a terrible trade for the Rams. Best thing for us, man. 6th round pick for an easy 2nd round pick. Wow. That's pretty good, I'd say, right?
Definitely. I can't believe the Rams even accepted this trade. Jerry was probably offering this like, what stupid manager would accept this? And then he got it back. Oh,
Right.
Tavon Austin is a member with the Cowboys.
Right.
For the 192nd pick.
That's
And
Right.
he's easily one of the top 15 fastest players in the league. So I
Right.
think that was a terrible trade for the Rams. Best trade for us.
Right. And we traded Ryan Switzer, wide receiver, for J.I. Had Ward, defensive tackle from Oakland. He's 6'6", 295 pounds. That's all the trades, but that's a good trade for us. We need a defensive tackle, and as soon as we brought in Trayvon Austin and all the guys from the draft, someone had to go. Had to be Ryan Switzer. Sadly, I liked him, but, what can you do? I like that. What do you like that trade?
Yeah, I like it because we got Tavon Austin, and then
Right.
I mean Jerry was like, oh, we need a D tackle, we didn't draft one. We got Tavon Austin. I can compare him to Ryan Switzer. I mean, I can even say Tavon Austin is better than Ryan Switzer,
Right.
which I honestly think he is. And then I think it was a very good trade. But I'm sad that Switzer had to leave. But I mean, NFL is a business and trades go down
Right.
and people leave. So I think it was a good trade.
So let's talk about some undrafted free agents. This is only gonna take a minute. Then I'm gonna sign off. But we got a couple secondary guys. One a little bit that I really like. A couple linebackers, a defensive end, a few wide receivers, defensive tackle, a running back, a quarterback. I don't know why, but the guy that I'm gonna cover here, Cam Kelly, cornerback. How is he not drafted? My question. This man he's a beast. He's good. I'm gonna enjoy seeing him on the field. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna talk a little bit about him. But I think he's going to be a very good player and a very big help in depth for our secondary. What do you think?
I think this was a good pick, and I'm gonna say the same thing that you said. How in heck was he not drafted? I mean, this dude is really good. I'm honestly stoked we got him because Cheeto, Jordan Lewis, Xavier Woods, Jeff Heath, Kayvon Frazier, and you're gonna add this man.
Right.
I think it's as an undrafted free agent too. I mean, this is a no-brainer. Take him. And I'm gonna say a little bit about his height and stuff real quick. He's a cornerback / safety. He's 6'2", 200 pounds.
Right. He's
undrafted free agent.
He's tall.
Yeah, he's really good. That was a great pick. The rest of the undrafted free agents, I don't really know much about. This was the only name that I could think of, but this was awesome.
Yeah. That's about it, you guys. I enjoyed doing the draft. I enjoyed doing this video. Thank you, DCF, for coming on here and talking Cowboys. It's always great to talk Cowboys with everybody. I can't wait for tomorrow because I'm going to be talking more about the Cowboys and Jason Wynn's retirement. So I'll see you guys next time. Peace off.